Bum bum bum. Welcome to Daylock.
I love that robot noise. So, Spencer, last time we edited it in post. Ian did the theme song for Daylock. So now it's your
All
turn.
right.
We're going to make every guest do the theme song, and we'll put it back in post and leave this part in where I explain it to them.
Fair enough. All right.
Twice.
So I got to do a theme song. Oh.
Again, the podcast is called Daylock.
So I said theme song with Daylock. All right. I do like an easy one, like bum bum bum. Welcome to Daylock.
I mean, that's about what he did, so we're going with it.
That's about what he did. I don't want to be the
one
same.
One take. You only get the one take. You used it.
Oh, we get okay. Fair enough. It's over.
Hi, welcome to Daylock. I'm Tony Corbo.
And I'm Michael Borowski.
And I am Spencer Hatcher.
Guest of the week. Today we have a theme going on, guys, for the second episode. Now we're getting cooking with fire. Borowski, you came up with it, so you want to talk?
Okay, so this kind of all started with the YouTube video I saw today. You guys familiar with the Darth Jar Jar?
Yes, I love
theory?
the Darth Jar Jar theory.
Yes, one of my favorite theories of all time.
And there's one of the YouTube channels I follow is a Star Wars like extended universe channel. So in one of the recent comics, it is kind of like a weird thing. Jar Jar seems to have a moment of competency with a lightsaber.
Impossible.
I feel like that shouldn't happen. All right, but continue.
But it's just got like from everything in the video, it just showed like he was fucking with two clone troopers. Is like back in the Clone Wars era, and they were just like apparently supposed to be ragging on him, giving him shit. Like, oh, it's fucking Jar Jar.
And he's like, I'm a senator, right? Like, I can have
he's still a high-ranking person.
Yeah. So then both the troopers get like shot, and then it's like, oh shit, they're about to be killed.
Yeah, I hired someone, assholes.
Jar Jar all along.
And then he just gets a lightsaber and cuts down like some droids, and then it's just like, oh shit, what the hell? But I just love the theory of Darth Jar Jar because it makes his character not complete shit.
I agree. I totally agree there. He's an unnecessary character unless you make him the evil being of the universe.
From a writing standpoint, you don't just like introduce a character like that and have him be a bumbling idiot that doesn't contribute to the story. Like a lot of like better or worse, like the best like comedy people, I'm trying to think of the right word, I can't think of it, like the throwaway character, the jokey ones. Can't I think of the word? They
comic
usually
relief.
Also comic relief, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I gotta edit that out now. They usually also do kind of serve some sort of a purpose. Like most of the time it's levity, but like they do have like a secondary thing they do.
Which Jar Jar really is. I mean, he has the senator position that no one likes, basically.
Like, was that even important? Like,
it was important because he was the one that gave power to Palpatine.
Which, if he was Darth Jar Jar, that makes importance. But like, if he's not Darth Jar Jar, then it makes no sense at all to make him a senator.
Because the one thing I just remember, like a year or two ago now, when this theory first exploded, there's like this really, yeah. Well, that was part of it, but that there was this really long Reddit post of like evidence and just recordings and shit, and just kind of all that. And one thing they were trying to compare when Jar Jar to Yoda, like when you first meet him. He just is this little Muppet that's just like, oh, fuck are you doing here?
And Jar Jar was the same.
And it's just like, it makes more sense, but they did it a little bit too racially insensitive. And
so like
committed to the bit too much.
So looking back on like episode 5, Yoda must have been like high on shrooms when he first met Luke, right? Like, because we see throughout the rest of the movie and the sequel, Yoda's still competent. But when he first meets Yoda, he was batshit insane.
Well, the theory there is that he was pretending because R2D2 is supposed to know Yoda too from the Clone Wars, and apparently he
No.
didn't respond to it.
R2 and C3PO were supposed to have their like memories wiped.
But they never wiped
Yeah.
R2D2's. They kept not wiping his.
Ah.
This is a whole thing with he's supposed to know Yoda, but they have like a secret wink to where they don't talk about it, so they can confuse Luke to actually see if he's the chosen one, kind of thing. It's all confusing.
What was the wink? Yoda hitting him with a stick?
Yeah, right. No, he was literally bad shit crazy. So I don't know how he explains that away, but
because when he sees R2 for the first time, he just kind of keeps hitting him with a stick.
I mean, maybe that was the signal. He was like, "Hey, you shut up and don't talk about this." All right.
Hey, broski, remember that time where I'm like, if we're ever separated for more than like 10 years and we see each other again in like a French coffee shop, I'm just gonna beat you over the head with something, and that's when you'll know it's me.
You're like, "Oh my gosh, Tony, is that you?"
Or a drunk Frenchman.
I'm sure I'd be
One or
like,
the
I
other.
have no idea who this American is, and I would never be in France. So let's just stop that right there.
They say, "Why are we in French in a bagel shop?" Is that...
I will never go to France or Canada.
I feel like there's a story behind that, but we're getting off topic.
Well, I mean, there is for the Canada one. Those damn Monties.
No, goddamn syrup backs.
Oh yeah,
Sarah Backs.
I said Monty instead of Mountie.
I was gonna roll with it. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, I was just gonna let the Italian speak because he probably knows people in the mob.
He has connections.
Speaking of mob, segue into Godfather. Anyone has any good Godfather conspiracies?
You know what? I'm just gonna start off with saying I have never seen all of the Godfathers all the way through.
Same. I've only seen parts.
I've seen them, but it's also
And I
been
own
that
them
long.
all too. That's the sad part.
You can probably go talk to a relative. They were there.
Okay, so fun fact, guys. Where I live, there's a street called Mayfield Road, and it goes all the way to Cleveland. Like even to where I live, it's like more than an hour or more than a half hour away from Cleveland. And in The Godfather, they reference the Mayfield mob, which was a real thing. So
you live on like a mob street, or
yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
We even have like the mob had it's like the whole Dan Green thing, the To Kill the Irishman stuff that was related to it.
I got you.
They were the Mayfield mob, and they even got like a shout out in The Godfather. So cool fun fact that I'm from that area.
Interesting.
I think I remember seeing like a funny thing with I can't remember. It was Marlon Brando and someone else. Like during their off time in like waiting to shoot stuff, like Marlon Brando was just telling like dirty jokes to someone. I think it was was the Al Pacino? Is that Al Pacino?
I have
The
no
one
clue.
who plays Michael Corleone. Why am I blanking on this?
We're all sitting in front of computers.
That's fair enough. It's at our fingertips.
Literally.
But yeah, I think one thing I saw was like a fun fact that, or was it the director? Someone. He just told dirty jokes to the whole time.
I mean, those Italians, bro. That's what we do.
That's kind of their whole purpose.
Also, broski, you never actually got to the conspiracy part of like laying out.
I was just so we all know the Jar Jar experience.
Yeah, I mean,
we're doing conspiracy today, guys. Roll the theme song again.
Dun, da, da, da. I forgot how I did it already.
Close enough.
I'll send it to you when we're done. You'll be like, oh.
That's what it is. Well, it's okay. So the Jar Jar theory. So do we have give us a background? I mean, you obviously, I mean, I know it too, but give a background for everybody listening so we can give you like a simple explanation.
We went over it. I just wanted to like fully cover that we're doing conspiracies today.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
And one thing I think we've hit the most, like some of the at least beginning parts of it that, or if people aren't familiar, Darth is usually a Sith term for like the master, and the theory is Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
I mean, he would have to be. Look at how much he tortured our children.
Ooh, shots fired.
I mean, Tony, we were the children.
I mean, if you look at what Jar Jar did to children, it's not as bad as what Anakin did to those young ones. Because when he did it, it was like a swift, like quick kill. Jar Jar was just torturing them.
Extended torture over time. So, can we believe the theory? Does anybody actually believe the theory,
Oh,
or
yes.
do you think that George Lucas was just
I
doing
do
a
not
funny
care what
character?
other people say. I don't even care if this is true. It's what I want to believe. So
That's what you want to believe. So it becomes true.
in my head, it's true.
One thing with the theory that I remember seeing, like, part of this, the actor who played Jar Jar, he commented, like, after I think the second movie, like, yeah, I was supposed to have a bigger part in it, and there was supposed to be more. And so then that kind of, I think, was more gasoline on the fire. Like, oh, he was supposed to do more?
No kids'
Oh, yeah.
movies, they try to do too many twists like that. Like, I think every single Disney movie that's come out lately, since Frozen, have been trying to do a big twist.
It's like the big thing nowadays. That's how they make money.
Well, I want to actually attribute it to Tangled just because I like it more than Frozen. Like how in the end, instead of like her, like, oh, like I save him, like, or whatever they were gonna do, he actually just like, no, I die and like save you. There we go. Instead of that
This is
cop
what's
out
happening.
ending.
Yeah. I mean, but with Jar Jar though, did George Lucas pussy out? Was he planning it the whole time? Because like,
Well,
I
they
mean,
say
don't
he's
think there's-
pussied out since like the beginning. Like in the end of Empire Strikes Back, the second one, episode 5, whatever you want to call it, he's supposed to like join Vader for a bit.
Luke was supposed to go dark side.
Yeah, in the original version, Luke is supposed to like dip his toes into the dark side and actually like like see what there was actually to offer. Kind of like what Kylo Ren was saying, like, why would you not like at least give it a try? Like, why would you literally wall off half of what you are as a person?
Oh yeah, I mean that's like half the power. I mean, I feel like the dark side is there a line that you cross, or is it just being evil? I mean, you got to get like philosophical about the Force here for a second.
That's the fucked up part. Like a lot of like what the dark side preaches is like, no, just like really give into your emotions and really just go ham with how like you feel. Which a lot of the times ends up badly because when people get angry. But like,
because anger is the strongest emotion.
yeah, and like Jedis are like, don't feel anything ever. Don't even ever feel love. And I'm like, that seems kind of effed up too, guys.
They're two extremes of one thing.
Yeah, but like one extreme just happens to not have genocide in it.
Yeah, I mean they kind of still do though, if you think about it. And the Jedi killed lots of people in the wars. I mean, they said they were bad people, but
yeah, but they didn't start the wars.
Well, it's like, I guess they didn't technically, but they were manipulated into fighting. Jedis became the Sith, going back to like, well, this is non-canon extended universe shit now.
Damn you,
Some
Lucas.
Jedis broke off and then went to a planet and just started fucking.
yeah, was it the Sith planet, right? I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I love that episode of the Clone Wars show where Yoda goes there.
Oh, and he learns all the truths. What are they called? The sages or whatever, the 3 sages.
Yeah. And he even like sees like the ghost of like the first Sith. And Yoda's like, "You're evil," and he's like, "Nah,
Nah,
that's just like your opinion, man."
it's all about perspective, all right? It was the greater good.
Some people just want to go nuts. It was like the Jedi version of Woodstock.
A fair set of drugs, though. It's just embalming yourself with the Force. Going ham with the emotions.
Because let's move back to the Darth Jar Jar theory. One thing I remember seeing is during some critical scenes in the first movie, if you look at Jar Jar's mouth, it is moving as other people are talking.
Yeah, like he's trying to like
crucial
make them
points.
say, yeah, like it's usually when someone says something or acts out of character, you see Jar Jar like moving his hands or lips, and it's like, oh, is he like controlling them that way?
That was a big point for me when I saw footage of like that. I was like, ooh, I feel like George had a plan there, but then he just backed out.
Because especially since he's all CGI, it's like that was intentional to move his lips.
Yeah, like there's a reason they did that, and like it never explain it, so that means something fell through. And I
Like,
want
this
it
is-
to be Darth Jar Jar.
This is the biggest reason I want to have like the Rick and Morty go to parallel universe powers, because I want to see the universe where this theory was true, and I want to see all the movies that came out after this.
Oh, that would be a great thing to do.
Like, could you imagine going to like a universe where like every movie just blows like all of ours out of the water? Like, oh, like someone from their universe comes here, sees like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. They're like, oh, that's cute. That was such a crap movie. And we're like, what? That was like our best movies. They're like, what? Really? Come see what some of ours.
And then they have like what's a very basic, what's that, The Room? Is that the one I'm thinking
Yeah,
of?
The Room.
Oh.
Winning 12 Oscars in our world. We all cry watching it.
That would be that is the one superpower I could have is probably going to see The Room in a universe where it's a good movie.
I would use it for other things, but that specific ability.
But that's just a benefit, all right? I would definitely do that.
Like, I would go into a universe, rob a bank, and then come back to our universe and laugh. What are you going to do, cops?
As you say, yeah, this isn't money from our universe. You can't prove anything.
It's like, why is it Benedict Arnold on the money? Like, fuck you, mate.
They do that in like one. They do that in like a Justice League comic once. Like someone goes to a different universe and is like, "I'd like to buy a coffee," and he like someone from a different universe puts down money. The guy's like, "Sir, I can't accept this." And he's like, "Well, why not?" He's like, "Because that person was never a president. It's just some bozo who like was like a new founding father that we never had."
What if you get away with it though?
Well, what is it? What would he have said? Like, I'm from another dimension.
I mean, if you can convince the guy you're accurate, I mean, you still can't use the money though. I don't know. There's no way to do it.
They eventually
I mean-
convince. Oh, you go first, broski.
You just have to find like the one like teenager working like fucking McDonald's. Like, just put money in hand. I will just be done.
Yeah, they're not checking the money. You got to go to fast food. 15-year-old guy. You're right.
That was like in the the Justice League too. I loved how it was like it was a good Lex Luthor in our universe, and like Superman's like, no, I believe him immediately that he's the good Lex Luthor. They're like, why do you believe it? And he's like, because the real Lex Luthor's heart is on the left side. This dude's heart is on the right side of his chest. And they're like, oh.
I forgot about that. The whole it took me a second to just completely remember that the Justice Lords.
I am out of the loop here. I have nothing on this.
It was a good Justice League movie that I will send you the link for later.
Didn't they also do like a couple episodes of it?
No.
And like, I swear they did. And
Like,
I can't remember
Spencer,
if it's.
I'm just gonna send you a list of like the newer Justice League / DC animated movies they've been doing lately. Like the worst ones are still pretty fun.
Really? I'm not into the DC universe that much. I'm not even in the Marvel universe, if we're being honest.
Oh. I was just gonna say, if you want to watch like a really good like DC movies, watch the animated ones because they always really knock it out of the park. Actually,
There's better. Have you guys seen the new Aquaman and stuff, or no?
No, I'm
I
kind of
did.
meant to, but it's
I
just
did. It was okay. It was like Venom, where it was like, I'm glad I saw it, but like it wasn't that great.
I say, yeah, fair enough. Venom was like that. I mean, it was a good movie by itself, but I feel like it was just an intro movie. You know what I mean? They had to explain the whole character and backstory, and it took them 2 hours to do it.
I love how that just like really blew up on Tumblr, and like everyone's just shipping Venom and Eddie Brock and like making it really like intimate and romantic in a weird way.
In a very
I'm like,
weird
thank
way.
you, internet. I didn't know I wanted to see this hilarious fan fiction.
But I'm glad I did.
I think the funniest one was like they put their heads in the scene from The Little Mermaid, or like Venom was Ariel, but Daddy, I love him. really
Okay,
love
so I found it. It's in Justice League Unlimited season 2, episode 11 and 12.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
11 and 12. It's where they first introduce, or that's when they introduced the Justice Lords.
Well, yeah, the Justice
That-
Lords were like a thing in the comic. I'm just talking about
Ye-
that specific scene was in the movie.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Oh,
see,
I
I'm out of
misunderstood you
room.
then.
Oh, broski, did I tell you that the original Justice League people are getting back together? Like the ones who did like Justice League Unlimited?
I want to say you did,
I think we did in the last podcast.
or one of the
Spencer-
last times we talked.
I have a conspiracy for you.
All right, give
I
it
know
here.
you
Throw it
like
at me.
So, do you remember the episode of American Dad where in the end I think the rapture happens, or like in the end Stan dies and he goes to his
Yes.
perfect heaven, and that was like him hanging out with his family.
Yes.
So all subsequent episodes are just his afterlife.
I
Francine,
am.
You don't look like a whore.
Just say that's what you should stay away from. Don't call her a whore. But yeah, there's a whole theory there, and then because there's later episodes where he actually dies, and then they send him back to real life, and it's a completely different family. And they told him that they had him living with Francine as a punishment because he was such a bad person.
That's
So send him-
I forgot
Yes.
about that episode.
yeah, so they send him to his real family.
Not gonna lie, Francine is the best character in American Dad.
No, Roger
Frank-
is.
I was gonna say Roger or Bullock, because Bullock, just everything Bullock does makes me laugh. There's not a
No.
Bullock joke that I can't get behind.
Because their Francine jokes are so far and in between, but like when she actually has a joke, it's always amazing. Like I can think of like like that episode where Jeff quit weed and like he kept jacking it through the house.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
just thinking that.
Francine's like Francine's telling Haley like, do what you gotta do to like please your man. Gotta use your pinky, and she's like, I tried using my pinky, and she throws like a big a latex glove down. And she's like, do what you gotta do.
Hey, get up in there.
I was actually thinking of another scene from that episode where she was talking about getting high, and then like, yeah, this weird thing. I would just like
Crush
crush
an
a
entire,
2-liter.
Of orange
then-
soda, and she does later in the episode.
And
Yeah,
then,
when
like,
she-
Jeff just freaks out.
It's like stuff like that. Like you would think the mom character is like so boring or naggy, but Francine's fun.
She does have a good part, but I'm telling you, Bullock, everything Bullock does, there's not a Bullock joke that I don't like. Everything. He's just a drug addict CIA director that everything he does is insane.
I was
Yeah.
never like 100% fond of how they like treat the CIA like it's an elementary school or something.
That's my
Or
favorite
high
part about
school.
Yeah.
Like it's always funny like when they had like summer break. I'm like, wait, what?
It's the slow
Like, is the
season, so we go to our
CIA
summer
just
hours.
Is the CIA just shut down in the summer, I guess?
They go to summer hours, I think is what it was. when the bomb makers trade in their bombs for beach umbrellas or something, because it's summertime.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, but like, so what do you guys feel about like all the episodes being like just the afterlife?
Oh yeah, no, totally, because they make sense too, because the random stuff that happens. Roger has superpowers because he can move really fast. And then if you want to do another conspiracy, if you watch all the episodes, because it's like it's later seasons, like season 10 or whatever, or 9,
They do
8,
get
whatever.
wackier.
Yeah, they do.
Like
but
the newer seasons have definitely gotten a little wackier than the beginning.
yeah, but I love it. But there's just one episode where they explain how Roger does things, and it's because he's super fast speed or something like that. I think it's like Jenny from the block is the one it is.
Yeah.
We had guy fakes a suicide from a bus, and he moves really fast, and that's how he does it. But it's like if you watch all the episodes starting from 1, and you think about how Roger has superpowers like that, everything makes sense that Roger does. Like how he changes outfits, how he's in these different personas and stuff like that, how he can like manage 5 different families at once that he's living with, like.
One of my favorite Roger jokes was like, he's like, here, go to this place, to ask for like Mike, and he'll help you. And he goes, this is gonna be you in a dress, isn't it? And Roger goes, yeah, most likely.
Good possibility.
There's another scene like that where oh shit, I can't remember the character's name, but it was stealing his bar mitzvah money.
Oh, Snot.
No, not
Stealing-
Snot. It was like it's not rival.
Oh,
Like,
Snot's. It's like cousin
that
or
was-
something.
Yeah, that was stealing. Oh, now I can't even remember her name. The
He
fat
just had a
chick
really
that-
crappy Seth Green voice. That's all I remember.
But just like I swear the character's name is Minnesota Slims. Steve just shows up and goes, "What the hell?" and then Roger's character is just like playing pool, and then he's like, "You hustling me, boy?" And then he goes to make a shot. And then he just goes to make a shot and just like fucks up the table, and then just turns to the guy. Yes,
You hustle me. Everything about Roger too, though, is just hilarious. Everything, but I mean, being dead, it does make sense though, because all the episodes are wacky, and if he's in heaven, I mean, because it's all centered around Stan, so it's about his universe and everything. I can get behind that. Give me another conspiracy. Somebody give me another conspiracy.
Well, I was hoping you would come up with one.
Well,
That's
no,
why I was
yeah, your
pausing.
turn.
We both went.
Fair enough. Okay, so I mean, the only one I got is that Rick and everybody's caught up on Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler
Okay. So
warning for anyone who hasn't.
yeah, sorry, spoiler warning. How Beth is turned into a clone, or supposedly into a clone, and they say she's not in the last episode. But is Beth a clone? Do we know if she's not? Can we prove that she is?
I don't think it matters, and I think that's like what Rick was saying. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Rick's smart enough to say, like, you're a copy of my wife, and I'm gonna love you in her place because that's what she wanted. If you were, and if you're
So
not, then I still love you.
I say fair enough, because I mean, the act's the same way. Do you think that next season they'll come back to it, and then she actually comes back, and it was a clone the whole time?
I feel
I
like that
don't-
is a plot point they could do, but
I feel like they might twist it. Like, Beth chose not to go, but she had a clone go out and live her like life that she wanted.
Ooh,
Or
what's
there's, like- or that's like the 5th clone that's done that.
oh yeah, I
There's
mean,
Like, I don't want to leave my family, but I want to live this great life. So I'm going to stay with my family because that's the adult thing to do. But I'm going to send a second me out to go live that crazy life. So I know in my heart of hearts that I'm also doing the like what I want to be doing. That's
I
how
mean,
would like that's how I feel like would be a good twist.
it'd be a weird. How do you pull that off though? Because I mean, if you wanted to live
I
that
don't know,
life,
like a
you could just
second
go
Beth
do
shows up and they're like, "Wait, which one's the real one?" And neither one knows. And Rick's
So,
like
yeah.
just passed out drunk or something.
it.
So they all have to figure it out without him.
I mean, he could go back to jail too. He's in jail, so they figure it out. I hope he doesn't go back
I
to
don't
jail.
think he's ever going to go back to jail.
Actually, he
it would
destroyed
have
the
to
whole
be
Federation.
Yeah, it
I
has
was
to be a
gonna
Rick
say,
jail.
except for Phoenix person was his name now,
Yeah,
they changed it, yeah.
Like the resurgence, or
and Tammy.
Because he
I
was
hope
not
she
in
does.
season 3 at all.
just that one scene.
But what about Mr. Poopy Butthole?
He can go
Ooh,
get fucked.
another
I don't
conspiracy.
give a
Oh
shit.
no! Okay, that was a good one that I saw on cartoon. I'm gonna completely credit cartoon conspiracies for this. They say Mr. Poopy Butthole's like the memory people.
The parasites.
Yeah, he not that he is one, but he works like that because he just kind of slipped his way in, right? And
Oh
like,
yeah,
and like he was like just like a parasite that is not harmful, like a parasynthetic one, where like he's just there, like, and they like explain it like, well, where would a parasite feel safest? Next to the befriending the like most powerful person in the multiverse. Like,
fair enough.
it would make sense.
I see. The one I saw, he was actually just one of the parasites, because the memory of him getting shot and then like healing isn't technically a bad memory, because it's like a redemption story. So that the whole thing where him getting shot and stuff like that to prove that he's real, it could be
See,
like it's a memory. It's fabricated.
I would disagree because that messed Beth up so bad. She was like sobbing over like a bottle of wine that she couldn't even pour because she was so messed up. That's not a happy memory.
I mean, but he lives through it and comes back to rehabilitation in the end.
Yeah, but we're not at that point yet, which means they're still living the bad memory.
I say fair enough. Fair enough. I guess you have to go with the timeline. I mean, because at the end of the episode, they do he's alive again, or not alive again, but and
Like,
rehab.
there's a
And
difference between a memory of something and the present. Like, we're in the present, and they were in the present and experiencing this stuff.
I mean, a memory can be from 10 minutes ago, though. So I mean, they could have had a whole thing, and then he just
But
created a
there's still a
memory.
difference from a memory and like currently where we are right now.
All right, I get you.
I mean, he could be an evolved form of it that doesn't need exactly a good memory to go off of, because I guess he could have altered memories so that how all the other ones clearly had like I want to say it was like a raspberry colored blood, and was able to kind of
No,
alter.
I
Like,
think his blood was red. Like,
No,
they
I'm
all had
just
red
saying,
His was
like-
hair.
red. The other ones weren't, though.
yeah, the actual parasites theirs were like whatever non-human blood, but I like maybe his powers or his abilities work a little differently. Like, they're more subtle, like where the rule doesn't apply. Like I said, evolved, where he doesn't need to recreate happy memories. It's just kind of something bullshit on the fly.
I mean, fair enough. So what is he? If he's not a bad parasite, I mean, what was the parasite's goal? Just to take over the Earth? I feel like
Just to be like safe, and next to like Rick is the safest place to be.
for him. But the original parasites, they just take over the world, right, and just eat it
Yeah,
alive,
the original
basically.
ones would just do whatever they wanted.
I
and
don't
be
remember them, what they focused on. Like,
I don't know. 'Cause
yeah.
Do they feed off? I don't know what they. How do they get there? I don't know what the
Well,
parasites
like,
do.
They just spread, and like, oh hey, now like 80% of the world's population are these things that we think are completely safe and good to us, but they're not.
What's the purpose? What are the parasites getting out of that? Safety
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
What are they like?
A
How are they
planet.
parasitic?
yeah. I said there's got to be a point where they're like feeding off people, or
they're an invasive species using up all of our resources.
I guess so. If they just kind of like locusts, they just breed massively
Yeah.
and just eat the world. I get it. Okay, all right. I mean, that would make sense for Poopy Butthole if he was a good one. Then stay by Rick. But doesn't he have? I mean, he has a family in the last time you see him or something, right? He's got like a wife
Yeah.
and kid.
He also apparently proposed to Morty.
Oh yeah, and that flashback from the Morty's mind blowers. Yeah, I want the whole backstory behind that too. Oh, there's a lot of flashbacks that I want a backstory to.
I do love how they like straight out said like we're doing Morty's mind blowers instead of intergalactic TV3. Like they straight up just say that.
He breaks the fourth wall all the time. If you want to go into another conspiracy, breaking the fourth wall, there's a theory that Rick actually knows he's on a television show and that he's so nihilistic or pessimistic, whatever, because
he knows.
Because he knows, and that he has to keep the show going to survive or whatever. So he does these wacky things with Morty.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
Which
I love how that's one of those things where the like creator just hates the fact that he did that. Because like when Justin Roiland was doing that, he was like, I'm gonna make the most cringy, like just horrible catchphrase ever, and everyone loved it.
Oh, it's the perfect catchphrase. I would get it tattooed on my chest if I could.
You can, Spencer.
Yeah, no one's stopping you.
That's
We'll do
fair. All right, somebody give me some money. I'm going to go get a tattoo right now.
I'm not
No,
going
you
to
gotta use your
enable
own
you.
money.
I'm just also not going to stop you.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you're right. I could do it myself. Give me a Sharpie. I'll just do it that way.
If you do it, send it to me within like 72 hours, and I'll put it right here in the podcast.
Just do a flash up of me.
You gotta do a sexy pose.
Oh, it'll be sexy.
Did you
No,
watch our
Don't put your face in it.
episode, Spencer?
Watch what?
The said the previous one,
Yeah, did you, Spencer?
the
Watch
April
the-
Fool's one.
Our first episode.
The third season or?
No. Our like Daylock. I thought you said you were watching the podcast the other day.
Oh, of Daylock. No, yeah, I totally did.
Did you watch it all the way to the end?
I got like 40 minutes in. 'Cause it's like, what, 50
You
minutes long?
bitch.
Bitch. I was going to do a reference to our first one. If you
Also,
do
new
the
Daylock tradition. Someone comes in, has not seen any of the like a full episode. We're gonna just cuss them out. You bitch.
So
no.
now you need to go back and rewatch the end, because I'm just going to say this, Tony. You can't say anything else to explain it. Whiteface.
I'm not. Yeah, whiteface.
Whiteface. I mean, all right. Now I got to check out the first podcast again.
Yes,
Or at least just finish it, you whore.
because
I got so far through. All right.
you missed. I think
It's
that's
not like
probably
we have
what,
like a big like epic tale to tell you. It's one episode of a podcast. Think how hard it's going to be for the next guy to have to watch 2.
That's fair enough. All right. He's got then you got 3 and then 4 and then what is by your 10th guest? I mean, they're watching a whole day's worth of podcast, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you have to watch our whole podcast before you're on it. Cool. How many episodes are there? 400.
And you need to have them done by tomorrow.
Oh no!
And we're starting in 5 minutes.
But it's getting me so glad around like podcast episode 50, we turned them into 30-second long ones.
It's just it was just introduction. It's just an introduction. Your
It's
theme
just the
song, the
introduction.
names, and then it's over.
And then saying whiteface and going away.
Whiteface.
See, now
I feel like that's not going to be funny after like the second time.
Nope.
We had to come up with a better like closeout for this one.
I'm pulling this horse out and we're going to beat it to death and going to get 6 seasons in a movie.
and a whole franchise. You got a whole movie franchise. I mean, you can drag out anything for as long as you want. All right.
Spencer, like, what do you think has been the best, like, while we're on the subject of conspiracies, what's the best twist you've ever seen in a movie?
Like any twist ever?
Yes.
Oh gosh. Put me on the spot here. I didn't have any
Or
material.
TV show.
Ooh. I'm not gonna come up with something on the spot. Give me some filler, and I'll think while you guys are talking.
So I think one of them, no, that's not a twist. I was gonna say like the end of Jumanji where he like drops the dice, but it counts as rolling them, I guess, and he gets like the perfect number. But that's not a twist or anything.
That's not really a twist, yeah.
There, theory kind of like that seems really almost true to me is on King of the Hill that Bill is Bobby's father. Because
I don't think I've ever finished that episode. I've seen the start of it like so many times on Adult Swim, but I always get kind of bored through that episode and change it.
You whore.
Is that confirmed that it's Bill is Bobby's father? It's just a theory.
No. Well, like
the episode says like, oh, in the end, like the puppy of Ladybird like relaxed Hank's urethra enough to have a kid.
Well, the one thing is,
none of that makes sense.
There's actually pictures of like the character Bill as a child, and then Bobby. The resemblance is fucking like just too good to be the neighbor that lived in Louisiana and has no relatives.
Also, Bill used to be like have his shit together in the show, like when he was 20 years old, like he went to the army and everything.
But he's always been dumb, right?
No, like I said, like he used to have like a really good life, but like you learn through the show, like his wife died and everything just kind of spiraled down for him.
Oh, and he turns into an alcoholic and it spirals down.
Yeah.
All right, now
he turns
that's
into
sad.
why I'm now like a fat alcoholic.
Don't say that, Tony. You can get past this.
The alcoholism or the fat?
I mean, both. All right.
Doing both would be hard.
You got to pick one. Which one are you choosing then?
I mean, like a thin alcoholic is definitely better than a sober fat guy.
All right.
I've made my choice.
Dieting every day, but I'll drink alcohol.
There's got to be some like weight loss alcohol. Like beer is probably a no-go, but like I don't know, rum's probably not that fattening, even though it's just pure sugar. But
there's got to be something light you could drink that's strong enough to get you drunk, but still.
I am not drinking Trulies.
Vodka.
Straight vodka.
Vodka will make you fat too, though. It's like potatoes.
Well, what you make it out of.
I believe it's
moonshine.
Just like
moonshine. It's made from corn. It's technically a vegetable.
I would think about it like that.
Prove
Then
me
yeah,
wrong. Prove me wrong on that conspiracy.
I cannot. I mean, Everclear is just corn too. I mean, you can make moonshine out of
Yep.
potatoes.
Are potatoes vegetables technically? I thought like starches counted as something different, but what do I know?
Yeah. So what? Yeah.
That means
not a
potato chips
nutrition
are
expert.
vegetables. Potato chips are vegetable, guys. We broke the system.
I'm eating healthy and I didn't even know it. All right. Okay. So another conspiracy, right? So who?
I'm about to look up a list of some.
fun ones.
I think one of my favorite ones was like, is Danny Phantom like the sequel universe to like Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I've heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one around for a long time.
Or where he grows up to be the singer from a different show, right? I want to say, is it Danny?
Shit, Chip from. Oh, I can't remember the name.
Chip and Dale?
No.
The Gophers?
From Fairly Odd Parents, the pop star Chip.
Pop diva Britney?
Close.
Chip Skylark?
Chip Skylark, yes.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like
We
trying
got
to think
there.
of it. But who's
I just
he?
wanna
He's a kid that grows up into him. I forget who it is though. I can't think of the cartoon that grows up into him.
Is it
Into
Timmy?
Chip Skylar?
No, it can't be Timmy.
Oh, because that's the same show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Danny Phantom grow up to be Chip Skylar?
Is it Danny Phantom? Because like Chip is a teen, isn't he, or is he an adult?
like 20.
Adult
He-
teen.
Chip Skylar, wasn't he a Backstreet Boy, like straight up?
I mean, parody, yeah, basically.
No, I think he was voiced by Chris Kirkpatrick, who
So,
he was an NSYNC person. Yeah,
okay. So still boy band.
yeah.
I did
I
not know
always
that.
confuse those two, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Like I could not tell you like the one song from one or one song from the other. The only one I know for a fact is like Backstreet's Back, and that kind of cheats. So
Because it says the name in the title, yeah. I couldn't tell the difference either. I mean, what's the I Want It That Way is Backstreet Boys, but I couldn't even tell you an
Is
NSYNC
it?
song.
Is it?
Now you're making me question it.
Yeah. What is life?
The world is
life a
alive.
conspiracy?
Oh, what's the theory that we're all in a computer simulation?
The brain in the jar one. That's what it is. That like, how do you know you're not just a brain in a jar being like electrically prodded and like are experiencing things?
Yeah. So I mean, how do you know? Right? Tell me that I'm not.
I mean, I'd rather not know. If it was true, I'd rather just not know.
I guess that's fair. You get to live the life. So I mean, going on that, then is anything true if you believe it to be true?
I think there's still limitations.
As in,
Like, no matter how much I believe I could fly, I'm not getting off the ground anytime soon.
all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you want to believe it, I mean, let's go for religion for an example. Like, if you want it to be true, it's true. You can't disprove it if you want it to be true, you know?
Well, that's not proving it either.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's you have to take examples like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good example because being true means you can prove it by definition almost. And in order to prove it, like if you can't prove it, just like be like, oh, but you can't unprove it. But like you also can't prove it. So screw you.
Yeah, I think there's a term for that.
It's
There is
like
a
a
term.
double negative. It's like if you can't prove it and you can't prove it's not, then don't talk about it. 'Cause-
Occam's razor.
No, Occam's razor is like
Or is that the wrong one?
isn't that the easiest path or the easiest way is the best way is Occam's razor, I think. Or is that
Yeah, that doesn't sound
or is
right.
that the not one? Occam's razor.
Yeah. It's spelled with an O. Did not know that.
I did.
I would not have known that.
One
either.
should not make assumptions than the minimum needed.
Pascal's was that Pascal's wager?
No, I literally just read the definition of Occam's razor. Is that a person should not make more assumptions than the minimum needed for any or all scientific meddling. And what the hell was mine?
Yeah, as you said, that was not what you said.
The easiest way
Is that Moore's law?
is the best.
Isn't that something? If something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
You may be thinking of Occam's razor.
What we were thinking of.
I guess it is. I guess what I said was a different way to phrase it.
All right, fair enough then. So
The
you were
easiest
right.
explanation is often the best one.
But I think what we were talking about with Pascal argument that a rational person should live as though God exists and seeks to believe in it. If God does not exist, such a person will have only a finite loss. So it's, or I think I might have just kind of got confused, but I think Pascal's wager is what we were talking about.
Which has to deal with so if you
You
want
can't prove it, but I'm trying to remember the wording.
I'm sorry, I zoned out because I was reading the knot thing, and I guess I was right on that too. That there was like an impossible knot to like untangle, and Alexander the Great just came up with some dude's sword and like cut the knot open. And so the easiest way is probably the best with this, guys.
Fair enough. Just cut it open. It's the easiest way.
And like you said, it was like you can never untangle it, and I just did.
I win a prize now. Where's my prize?
Oh man, I love like ancient Greek stories like that. Like there was like a professional like troll in like ancient Greek philosophy who would just like dick with Plato and all the others.
All right, I'm interested. Tell me about it.
Like he once asked like Plato like what is a man? And like Plato's like, well, a man, I guess, would be a hairless beast that walks on two legs. So the next day the guy threw a chicken that he plucked into the room and said, "Behold a man."
Yes, just trolls him.
Yeah. Just be like, you're wrong.
I win, old man. Do you know his name?
All right, we should get back to conspiracy theories because now we're talking Greek philosophy.
All right.
I feel bad for cheating. I peeked at Cartoon Conspiracy. Do you guys believe Plank is alive in Ed, Edd and Eddy?
That he's alive? It's been a while since I've seen all the Ed, Edd and Eddies.
I want to say no because he's clearly depicted as a plank of wood with a face drawn on it.
But he does things. Things that Johnny doesn't have control over sometimes.
What does he do?
There was an episode where Johnny was stuck in a tree and he like threw Plank to get help behind him. And like he couldn't see what was happening behind him. And like he was like, "What, Plank? They're doing this, and it was everything they were doing." And like there was no way Johnny could have like seen. He was facing the opposite way, stuck in a tree.
So it's a sentient piece of wood, is the theory then?
Yes.
Well, maybe he just has like hella good hearing.
Or maybe Johnny is just brought it to life with his mind.
It's a real boy now.
Because what's there's one episode where he like goes to this death roll coaster or whatever, right? Where they're trying to kill Plank.
Yeah.
And he totally just survived.
And Plank's like was moved, and Johnny looks surprised, and Plank like set them down the death roller coaster.
He survives, and it's like, I guess he could be alive. I'm down with that too. I like all these theories.
But there is an episode, if we're taking that, there is an episode where we meet Plank's parents, and they like break the heads off them.
Really? That sounds dark.
Yeah, they had to like hide it from Johnny the whole time.
Jeez, this is a dark show, all right? Wasn't this for kids?
Oh, that was a new thing. What's his name? Sean Dawson or whatever?
Shane Dawson?
Maybe. Some dude on the internet like a few days ago was like, "Yo, cartoons are brainwashing children. It's a conspiracy." Like, he said specifically it's like pro-suicide.
Cartoons are?
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
I've not seen that.
To be fair, in like the 80s, or not 80s, like way before that, I'm thinking of like Looney Tunes stuff. They did have a lot of suicide stuff.
I mean, that's true though. There was a lot of like dark humor and stuff like that. But I mean, was it a product of the time though, or were they actually trying to brainwash?
Well, it's also because like it was for adults too back then. Like cartoons were also really aimed at adults, so that's why they were more risque back then. Dude, go back and watch some Looney Tunes, man. That shit's so good.
Yeah. I wish they would still have that on, like when we were kids.
Like watching, like it translates bad to like nowadays, but watching Daffy Duck get shot in the face over and over again, it's the funniest.
They don't hold up well with the racism they display, though.
What are you
really
talking
that
about?
many of them were like that racist, but I think there were still. Okay,
Oh yeah,
I
no,
think
trust me, there was
typical
stuff that
Looney
was
Tunes.
not cool, but they didn't know back then.
There's like old cassette ones, not cassette ones. There's like the old ones. There's like a warning before them or something about how, I mean, they're still like good cartoons, but it's a product of the time where there's a bunch of
They weren't
racist
woke
stuff they just hit in
back
there.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember someone talking about that, and they were like, "I fucking love that warning." Unlike, I think Disney and like Disney has tried to hide some of their actual like, what was that movie? The Song of the South. Like
Oh, yeah.
that movie is like will never be released again, and
The
I'm
thing is,
sure
that
they
movie
have.
wasn't good just to in general, so who cares?
It was a bad movie. We don't need it anyways.
The only good thing that came out of it was the song Zippity Doo Dah, which is really great. But other than that, like if you actually watch that movie, you're like, wow, this is actually hot garbage. Like no part of it's really that fun or entertaining.
Can't ever remember it.
Well, it's because it like came out in the 60s.
I mean, but I watched all those movies. I feel like I have heard of it. I just haven't ever. I can't remember anything about it.
Conspiracy. Is Disney brainwashing the children to be more PC?
PC? I mean, that's a good thing, though, right? I mean, kind of.
I don't know. I don't think politically correct automatically translates to good.
Yes, I said kind of.
I mean, it's good to be inclusive, but yet then there's a point where you're being inclusive is just shunning people for not. It's trying to.
I follow where you're going, though.
This is like a razor's edge, and it's either going to make me sound really racist and like a piece of shit.
Go for it. I told you last time we're going to save the racy stuff for the second episode.
That's episode 2.
I knew this would happen.
But it's just the whole PC culture. It just is showing. What was that term? Identity politics.
Identity politics.
It's just like it's like we are this, they are that, they are bad because I'm trying to remember about it because I've watched a lot of Armored Skeptic in like the last couple months, and one thing he's like got on like a big train of is like anti SJW.
Like the problem with like the overly PC people is everything they say is like also like no matter what you do, you're gonna piss one of the two sides off. Like
no,
there's two ways to look at everything, and like no matter what you do, it's not PC.
Yeah, that's why I like to believe it's more about
it goes back to the like the age old like, oh, if you like hit a girl, like are you against women, or if you don't hit a girl, are you saying that women aren't good enough to be?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh, I'm sure
it's
you
like
guys have seen the what was his name, Ben Shapiro, doing in like town hall or some shit like that, and some chick asked him, where in the Boy Scouts does it say that girls can't be a part of it? And he just goes, in the name.
It's called Boy Scouts, all right?
Dude, did you ever like that meme where the lady is like talking to a guy and she's like, so you're saying that women are terrible, and the guy just looks angry in like the last frame of the meme? if you actually watch that interview, it's hilarious how this lady is trying to get this guy to be like anti-PC. But he's like, what are you trying? Like, I'm just trying to do my job. She's like, what makes you an expert on how women think and people act? And he goes, I am a psychologist.
I have a degree in this.
Like, he's like, I'm trying to explain to you why these things you're saying aren't true or actually, in fact, true. Like, he was talking with her and she was like, oh, like men and women should be equal because they always do the same thing. He was like, no, men and women think and do everything differently. And she got angry.
There's just science behind that with the chemicals in our brains and stuff.
Yeah, like she was like, oh, men and women don't segregate themselves. Like we should just blend it all together perfectly in the workplace. Like men will separate from the women. And he's like, yeah, because people do that like in nature. Like the women go with the women, the men go with the men. It's kind of like it's what happens. It's like it's
ingrained in our DNA.
It's like it's just we want to be grouped with people we can like recognize. That's why we do it. And
Yeah.
he's like, but that's misogynistic. And she's like, but women do it too. What are you talking about? It's just a really funny interview to watch this guy be like, you're an idiot. And here's the long list of reasons why.
And I bet she still didn't believe him.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
It's that kind of stuff that makes me mad.
That made me think of something I saw. Like the pay gap is like bullshit because the one thing. Oh, what is the wording on that?
It's like men get paid more, or men are like more in like expensive jobs than females. Like we do engineering and stuff like that, and females are not, and it's the men's fault for women not going into those job fields.
Well, no, it's like when you actually break down the wording of like women. I can't remember the whole thing, and it's like because if you look at, I think was it single women never married, they make more typically than men. Then because I think they're also counting married with children, and then those of course are going to have less money because they typically won't work as much as men. And then also goes into men will work a more dangerous job. I think was it like 9 out of 10 workplace fatalities are men.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
men
so then
suffer
just
more
like
from like psychological disorders.
It's just kind of one of those things, like the wording of it, if you actually break down what the wording is actually not 70, or it doesn't equal the 70 cents. That is bullshit that everyone just wants to shout because it sounds nice.
Yeah, it's one of those statistics.
Real PC for cartoon or talking about conspiracies, talking about real life conspiracies.
Okay, we got to segue back into PC principle.
PC principle.
Go now.
So being an ad, is he an ad?
Yes.
Maybe.
He is a sentient ad that is turned against his own kind.
My God.
Which would be a great plot point. I hope they do that.
No.
That was a plot point.
That a strong woman is also an ad against them.
Oh, I said, what if because they have kids now? Can an ad have kids? How does that work?
I don't know. Jimmy, you're thinking
he added a dick. Well, all those ads of grow a bigger dick.
They came true.
I guess he must have been talked with those people, or he, when he was killing ads, must have took that off and added it to himself.
All right. So he's a sentient ad. Can we prove this?
It was proved in the show.
When?
I think they do.
At the end of the season, when they show him in the ad with Leslie.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to
remember
this real quick.
At least I took that as like, yes, he is an ad.
Is PC Principal an ad?
And so that's just like the one thing. It's just like, to me, that proved he was an ad. And because then he had that whole, holy shit, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Isn't there like a plot though where it was the ads placed that in there to confuse him or something? Oh, maybe I'm thinking
that part.
I said maybe I'm remembering it wrong. So that was like 2 or 3 seasons ago now.
Because the ads were placing.
They say they strongly imply it, but they never flat out say what.
Okay.
It's just like take it either way you can, I guess.
Yeah, it's for you to decide.
He's an ad.
Just bullshit.
He's definitely an ad, all right?
Oh, the one plot strand, was it that season or the season before? The member berries?
Oh, that just never happened.
I was so disappointed in that because...
Well, it's because Trump won and no one was expecting it.
Yeah, they had a whole episode planned that was for Hillary Clinton winning.
Well, like the whole season was aimed that way, and then oh,
and then it happened. The beginning of the end happened.
It's not the beginning of the end. People, like, I got so mad. People don't understand how little power the president actually has. He's literally just a figurehead.
Yeah, for real though. No, I get it. I mean, Congress and all the Senate have all the power, but
Spencer, I know. I remember. Did you ever check out? Because I know I've told you this. I was listening to Hamilton today. That's why I remembered. Did you ever check out One Last Time in the song Hamilton or the play Hamilton?
No, I've never seen Hamilton.
Go look up the song when we're done, because I know you don't like George Washington, how he's overhyped in like history classes.
Yes, he was a drunk that got lucky.
One Last Time is like, oh hey, by the way, I'm not running for president anymore, and like he's pretty much like they play him up in the play Hamilton. That's why I don't want you to actually watch the whole thing. But in the end, where he's like, I'm not running for president anymore, he's pretty much singing, he's like, I just want to be a dude now. Like, I tried being president, and I wasn't perfect at it. So, like, I want people to learn from me. Like, not for better or for worse, what I did and learn from it. I thought that was real good.
I'll have to check it out. I was like, because he was overhyped to the max, all right? Not to get on a tangent here, but he got lucky at, like, every battle he won. And it was never him that made the decisions. It was always someone else.
American history is overhyped. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's America that wrote the textbooks.
I remember being in first grade and being like, Christopher Columbus was the greatest, most smartest guy. He figured out how to find America. And like, that's not at all how it happened. He was an idiot who just kept going the wrong way and just did not believe he was in the wrong place for a good amount of time.
Yeah, he was cruel,
even after, like, his whole life, the rest of his life, I think he just always thought it was India.
So was it ever proven that it wasn't India to him?
I've never heard of that, but
know. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Yeah, the guy was a wackadoo.
Oh, he killed he enslaved like a whole population too. Because he like owned an island when he died or something. He became governor of an island.
I think he died a debtor.
Did he? I thought he was made governor of some island that he discovered, and then he like enslaved a plantation basically, and he had a farm.
Maybe.
I could be making this up. I wish my dad was here. All right, he teaches history. He would have known this.
Tell your dad to watch Hamilton.
He probably has.
Dude, that music's so good. Freaking love that musical.
I mean, it won awards. It has to be good, right?
Lin-Manuel Miranda's great. He also did the music for Moana.
I've never seen it.
You've not seen Moana? It's on Netflix, I think.
I know. I started it. I watched like 15 minutes, and then I was like falling asleep. So I just fell asleep, and I just never rewatched it. Basically,
it has The Rock in it.
See, I know. That's why I wanted to watch it. You're telling me things I know. It's supposed to be really good too, isn't it? Like the whole plot and everything.
The music's really good. The plot's okay. The music's really good.
So it's just a basic Disney movie, is what you're saying?
I wouldn't say basic. It's by the numbers, I would say.
Better than Frozen?
Really tries not to.
Okay, I think we should cut it off now because has it been about an hour?
It's been about an hour.
Yeah, it's been
really not talking about.
Yeah,
Broski, we gotta decide the stuff like sooner than 2 hours before we do the podcast, so we can really think about what we're gonna talk about.
I need like a bullet point list to keep on track and stuff, right?
Well, we're still trying to figure this shit out. We want to thank Spencer for joining us today.
Yay!
Spencer, just in case you're here next time, and I'm not saying you will, but what would you like to talk about as a guest?
As a guest, everything is on the table, all right?
We need a real answer.
A real answer.
We need
Fair
you
enough.
not to be a little bitch. Come on. Tell us
I mean,
what you really feel.
Pop culture, right?
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
Well, yeah. Okay, so like recent stuff on the news. I mean, you got a bunch of the YouTube drama where there's a bunch of the European Union banned all that stuff from YouTube. Or I'm sorry, what am I talking about? Article 13, where they banned all the copyright laws and stuff. How that's going to affect the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good pop culture. I like pop culture, so like stuff like that. I mean, you ever watch?
That's more like current events than pop culture. Pop culture.
Yeah,
is like,
I have to agree.
Hey,
with
did you see
Tony
that
on
cool
one.
movie or show?
All right,
Or
fair
music.
enough. Fair enough. I said the wrong term. I mean current events, right?
All right.
Or I mean, I like movies. I like watching movies, and I will talk about how shitty or good a movie is.
What was the last
all day.
movie you saw?
Venom, to be honest.
Let's all.
No, yeah, Venom.
We need to aim for a movie, broski. We need to watch the Lego movie. Spencer, if you want to try to make it to the
New Lego movie? Is it coming out? It's coming out
Or
soon.
yeah,
Right?
is it Lego movie or Lego
It
movie?
comes out like at the end of the week.
Yeah. So I mean, both of them, or just the new one, or
The Lego movie 2.
all right. I like the first one. The first one was amazing.
I love
I
the first
think
one.
we should do it in 2 weeks because I don't know if I'll be able to see it this weekend, and I might end up seeing the girlfriend wants to go see it during the week. So that one, let's just put that in the books to happen.
Put that down later. All right.
Yeah, because
Jurassic
I'm not
Park.
really sure.
Ba, ba. Yeah, no, that's not how it goes.
Done.
I
I
can't
can't even do
Jurassic Park stuff right now.
Same. I was about to, then I was like, I can't remember it.
Craziest thing I've ever found about the Jurassic Park theme. I found out like a website. It was like, check out the Jurassic Park theme at like 1,000th the speed. I'm like, I'm really bored. I'm gonna click on that. Like I let it go for a few minutes, and it was like just the warm up. But when the music actually started at 1,000 speed, it was really beautiful. And like I was like, I could go to sleep to this. It just felt like so majestic and slow.
Okay,
At
so
1,000 speed.
we do need to wrap this up.
All right, Broski.
Let's just say current events. Hopefully, is the next one, unless we think of a better idea.
Current events, movies,
Pop culture, current events.
culture. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Sorry, viewers. We're dragging on.
Yeah,
It's only the second
viewer-
podcast, all right?
So
Yeah.
we're talking to our viewer. That's how he got on the show.
All right.
So if anyone else is a viewer, you could win a guest
Yeah.
spot on here.
Oh, that'd be cool. Literally first person to comment in the YouTube post, we will invite you to the what's it called, the podcast.
Yes.
So comment, like, subscribe,
And all that fun shiz.
All right.
I think I was the first one to
Daylock.
subscribe. Just saying. All right.
No, I was.
Second one. All right.
I don't even think.
I didn't subscribe yet. That's narcissistic.
It's like liking your own post. All right. You can't do
Yeah.
that.
I always
Alright.
comment on my own post because it'll show better on Facebook. Anyway, guys, this is Daylock signing out.
Peace, bitches.
See ya.
Bye.